Hey there class, welcome back to your IXL tutorial video. Today we're going to be talking about Y.1, which is writing in, an expression using variables and operations. So we're going to be talking about how to write down your expressions using the examples that they give you from the sentences that they provide. So let's go ahead and jump over to our IXL and we'll kind of walk through what these examples look like. Alright, so in your first example, as you can see, I'm a few problems in, but we need to write an expression for the operation described below. So they give you a little example here. It says 10 times A. So we can identify our key numbers here as 10 and A, because A is a variable, which means it represents any number given for that value. So our second step is we want to identify what operation we're using. In this case, it says times, which we all know times means that we want to multiply. So down below, I'm going to write down, starting reading from left to right, I'm going to write down 10 and then times, which would mean multiply by A. So in this case, I can write it as 10 with an X. Otherwise, I hope you all know that we can write it as a dot for multiplication. And a last little bit here is we can also just write it as 10a, okay? And anytime we can squeeze those two numbers together with a constant and a variable, we know that those two numbers are going to be multiplied by each other. So I'm going to go ahead and write it down as 10a using my final example. You can write it in any one of these three examples, or any one of these structures would work just fine, but I like to write it as just 10a and get rid of my symbol altogether. Alright, so looking at the next expression, we have the difference of 9 and s. So when we talk about our key numbers, we can identify we have 9 and s, and if we write those down in left to right order, we have 9 and s. And we want to find the difference of 9 and s, okay? And anytime we talk about the difference, we're actually talking about subtraction, so we're going to get 9 minus s. In this case, I can't squeeze these two together because I'm not multiplying, so my final answer here is just going to be 9 with a minus sign, or subtraction sign, and then s. All right, let's do one more together. We've got u decreased by b. So we have u, or by 5. So we have u and 5 as our key numbers, and we know that decreased by also tells us about subtraction. So we have u decreased by, or subtracting 5 away. You got to be really careful with the way that you write this, because u decreased by 5 is not the same as 5 decreased by u. So you got to be really careful about how you write out your problem. In this case, we have u minus 5. All right, let's go one more so we can get to 70, and we can subtract 2 from b. So this is an example of where you got to be really careful with the order. So the two numbers that we have are 2 and b, but we want to subtract 2 from b. So I'm actually going to write out b first, and then we're going to subtract 2 away from it. Okay, so this is where the order really comes in handy, okay, because subtracting b from 2 is not the same as subtracting 2 from b. So in this case, this will read as taking b and taking away 2 from b. So our final answer should be b minus 2. All right, I'm going to turn it back over to you to finish out your example problems. Hopefully this helped you, and I will see you again in the next video. Have a good rest of the day.